YouTube is dying because of you, and it is for these very reasons. This was YouTube, 2009. Now, if you were born around the early times of YouTube like me, and looking back, you might agree with many calling it the pinnacle of the golden age, and you're not wrong. Now, I haven't started watching YouTube until 2011 in my early teens, 6 years after its release, but even so, the content that I consume at the time, from what I remember, seemed so weirdly natural in the sense that everyone was just making video just for the sake of making video because it was fun. YouTube was a platform where many could just take up a camera and share their personality, their interests, and everything that comes with it. These were the times where videos were made with less crazy edits compared to now, where almost every 5 seconds there has to be something new on the screen so that you, the viewer, don't get bored and click off. You didn't need to display some over-exaggerating persona for likes, clout, or money. And if you ever did, it was more for laughs and giggle. And so for this very reason, this is why many can agree why YouTube seems to be repetitive and boring for over the past year or so. And it's all because YouTube is falling deep into being a cash cow platform rather than being a streaming platform where creators connect with their viewers on a deeper level through their videos. Now, you might be asking yourself, when did it all start? February 14, 2005. Steve, Chad, and Jod, 3 friends, founded YouTube as a online video sharing platform. But it wasn't until April 23, 2005, the first video was ever created, titled Me at the Zoo, showcasing Jod, one of the co-founders, standing in front of a group of elephants, saying a few words for just 19 seconds.
And that's pretty much all there is to say.
And as of writing this today, it has earned over 3.10 million views, and thus the start of YouTube. A couple years later, Google bought YouTube, and on December of 2005, the release date, over 8 million videos were watched a day during this time. That's more than 8 million persons creating their first video, uploading them to YouTube every single day. Many creators came and many go. At the time, I bet no one even refers to themselves as being a creator, and that's because they weren't creators. They were just that guy or girl that owns a camera, or borrow, who knows, but they would just press record and talk about their day or interest, and thus the birth of vlogs. But as time goes on, many would take it a little bit further by creating short kits mainly for laughs or giggle, and that's what many were doing regardless of their age. And like many at the time, Smosh, Fred, or the Annoying Orange wasn't any exception until they were. You see, these guys grew an audience purely on their authentic love for making video just to have people laugh. It was about the passion. It wasn't about the numbers or clout. The idea that 2 friends would just set up a camera, went out in the woods or something and just be themselves is something you can never really do or get today if you want to gain the same following they had back in the day. Yes, things have changed, but the simple reason why this content is so different from the content of today is because these creators back in the day all have one thing in common. In regards to vlogging, there were more realism presented more than now anyways. They were having a great time, regardless of the viewers, and yet still you the viewer enjoy watching them. Now, we can all agree that if you went back and watched these videos again, you would say that it's really cringe. But back in those days, it was what gave you the joy in your early childhood days. These are the content that we don't see anyone making anymore. And it's only natural because things and times have changed. Now, I know you're probably like, Life of Riza does it, or Natalie Lynn still does this kind of content. And there's a lot more creators that are doing it. And you're not wrong, I completely agree with you, but compare it to the many other YouTubers nowadays who are not doing it, instead doing the fast-paced, crazy edit with the most oversaturated colors, trying to become the next Mr. Beast, so much so that it becomes a word in of itself. The Mr. Beastification is something that everyone will sought after in the long run, because honestly, who doesn't want fame, clout, or money? Who doesn't want to buy a beautiful car or pay off their parents' mortgage? You'll be a liar if you said you didn't. Now, if you're watching this, there's a 99% chance you have encountered or heard about Mr. Beast. But if you haven't, he's a content creator that blew up back in 2017 after he uploaded a video showing himself counting to 100,000 that went viral. And after that viral hit, Mr. Beast has went on to creating the most viral hits with every other video he makes. His fast-paced editing, his oversaturated thumbnail all consist of bright colors combined with his over-expressive persona.
We just got dropped off in the middle of an abandoned city and we're gonna spend the next 7 days here.
Is something that has gained the attention of many young viewers. The more his videos go viral, the more revenue he makes and the more YouTube earns. And so for this very reason, YouTube pushes his content even further. You see, there's a method that Mr. Beast came up with that let him gain so much views, in turn gaining a lot of revenue and everything else that comes with it. First, he comes up with the most absurd video ideas, like giving away 1 million food to people in need or giving away 10,000 presents to kids for Christmas. Then he packaged the video to ensure you, the viewer, click and watch. When his videos gain enough viewers, that video earns a lot of revenue. He then puts all his money back into making the next video even larger than before. And then he repeats the cycle. And so with this simple step in place, anybody could replicate it. And that's what many did. But that's just the thing. Nowadays, almost every new YouTube creators are starting to replicate this type of content. They're not doing it because they're very creative and just like making videos like myself, or because they're passionate about it like Smosh or all these genuine creators. No, they're doing it so that they can get rich quick, or so that they can show off that they have a fast car or living the high life. These creators don't care about you, the viewer. They only care about how much money they can make from you, the viewer. No, I'm not telling you to stop watching these videos, but with everyone doing the same cloud chasing, money grabbing scheme trying to go viral every other day while implicating these same methods that Mr. Beast put in place, some not even trying to put a little twist on their videos, it begs the question, what will happen to YouTube when every other channel is doing the same thing? As time goes on, originality, creativity, and a sense of passion that we once used to get from YouTube back in the day will eventually die out. And I say eventually because there's still a lot of creators like Natalie Lynn or Life of Riser that are creating content that is authentic. But even so, the masses will always overthrow the few. And we're already seeing this effect taking place already. I'm seeing this effect taking place already. You see, as a viewer myself and watching YouTube from 2011, I would go on YouTube to find something to watch, but for some reason I could never seem to find the right video that is entertaining anymore. Like I would just be there scrolling through the recommending page, looking at the thumbnail rather than actually watching the videos. And if I ever did find a video that I wanted to watch, I would eventually click off the video 2 to 3 minutes into watching it. And I realized this has been going on for over the past year or so. So much so that YouTube is starting to feel like Netflix in a way where you could never seem to find the right movie. And I know I'm not the only one because I've seen many comments on Reddit where people just like you and me are saying the same thing. And so I think it's only natural to think that YouTube is dying, with viewers like you and me now forced to consume more short form content rather than long form content on YouTube because we're all exhausted from seeing the same thing everywhere. Is something that if doesn't change will continue to ruin YouTube in the coming years, and it's all because of the YouTube algorithm. The YouTube algorithm is the backbone of YouTube. It takes all the information of your recent video you watch and create an outline of similar videos for you to consume. Now you might think this is a good thing, but when things become too repetitive, things can become boring faster than you think. YouTube is dying because of what you the viewers are consuming. And so if you're someone who views a lot of fast-paced crazy edits or Mr. Beastification content, it's only natural for the YouTube algorithm to push those kind of content even more to you and a wider audience. Back when the YouTube algorithm wasn't so refined, you could come across more random videos that amateur creators were creating. And that's why YouTube was considered so enjoyable back in the day. It was a fresh experience every time you open YouTube in a browser. And all these are the contributing factors to the downfall of YouTube. Now, I know I say YouTube is dying at the start of the video, but I guess that's not the accurate thing to say. In fact, seeing that YouTube is becoming, or if not already, the biggest streaming platform on the planet, YouTube in itself will continue to grow despite my negative comments about it dying. But what I will say though is the type of content that we had, where videos were only created because it was purely fun, authentic and full of creativity, when there were no fancy fast-paced editing or crazy colors, when things weren't picked for you, that's the type of YouTube that is dying, if it's not already is.